What is up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Dr. Hamas Tech. So today we got another amazing crazy phone over here. We have the Poco X3 Pro. So yes, this phone right now, if you do get the early bird price, this is selling at about 899 ringgit, which is less than 250 bucks. And recently I just did a video about the Redmi Note 10 Pro, which was already an amazing phone. But this phone right here, it just changes everything. So what I'm going to do today is an unboxing. I'm going to show you the key specs and features of this amazing phone. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So looking at the box, if you follow Poco phones, yes, it does look very similar. You have your yellow and black, which is a trademark color for the Poco phone series. And over here, you can see you have your manual books and stuff. Got your clear case to protect your phone. Put this on the side. No one actually reads it. This is the phone which we are going to check out in a little bit. Put it over here on the side again. And inside this box over here, you have your 33 watts of brick charging with your cable. So yes, for less than 250 bucks, you're going to get all of this for your Poco X3 Pro. So let me just take out the plastic from this phone and just look at the phone. And yes, it does look really good. Just give me some time to set this phone up and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So here we have it. This is the Poco X3 Pro, and yes, immediately you're going to notice that it is very similar to the X3 NFC. It does have the same circular camera layout on the top. Over here on the back, it is made out of plastic, and as you can see, it is very fingerprint magnet-ish. You're going to get a lot of smudges on the back, so yes, you will need a case to protect the back of your phone. On the front, you don't have to worry too much because you do have your Gorilla Glass 6. It is a premium glass on the front. It is seen on last year's phones like the S20 and I think if not wrong the OnePlus 8 series as well. So yes, it is a premium front glass. And of course in the front here, the display is rocking a 120Hz IPS LCD display at HD+. Yes, it's not your AMOLED screen, but then again, you still get your 120Hz, that buttery smooth refresh rate, and of course a HD+ display. Right out of the box, you have to go to your settings to go to the 120Hz because right out of the box, they give you 60Hz, so you gotta change that in the settings. Over here on the sides, let's go to the physical side buttons. Over here, you have your volume rockers, volume up and down, and a fingerprint unlock. Yes, nowadays most phones will give you a optical scanner on the screen, but you always have to make sure you hit the spot right. That's what she's saying. Over here, you have a dedicated fingerprint unlock, so you just gotta click on it, and as you can see here, it goes straight into my phone. Let's try that one more time again. If I just click on it, and it goes straight into the phone. Just one more time, very fast. It also does have a face unlock as well. So if I just point this to my face, if I just touch this, and straight away it goes to my home screen. One more time again. And as you can see there, super fast. So yes, this phone is really fast, and what makes this phone so interesting is because this, for the first time ever, we are seeing the Snapdragon 860. Yes, last year's phones came with the 865, the flagship phones came with the 865, the previous year was the 855. This, of course, the numbers don't lie, this is in between both of those two chipsets. Yes, this year also we do have the 888 and also the 870, which would be seen on the Poco F3. I will of course get my hands on that once it does release. But over here, don't get me wrong, the 860 is still a very good processor. This one also does come with 6 gigs of RAM, which is LPDDR4X RAM, if I did not just butcher that name. And also it does have UFS 3.1 storage. This one only comes at 128 gigs of storage. Of course, you can expand that with a micro SD expansion slot. So right now, do you feel thirsty? Do you feel hyped up? Because I really do. I'm super excited because again, at this price point, at the specs you're gonna get for this is just amazing. All the specs I just given you in 2021, you will not get the latest phone for, like, you know, less than 250 USD, 899 ringgit. This is just an amazing deal. So yes, with that processor, with that chipset, with the UFS storage and all that, I do expect a lot of gamers to use this phone. I do expect a lot of gamers to use this phone, a lot of people who do a lot of editing. So yes, if you do want to use this as your secondary phone or your primary phone, this is highly recommended because you will not face a lot of difficulty. This phone, I gotta admit, is a little bit heavier. So yes, it does come with a big battery, 5000 160 milliamp of battery. So yes, it is a very big chunky battery, but as I mentioned, you do have your 33 watts of fast charging as well. So yes, you don't have to worry too much about charging to full in terms of the battery. It will be, I think about 30 minutes, you can get about almost 50%, which is really decent. So yes, battery usage again is really good on the Poco X3 Pro. So yes, I'll be doing a comparison test, a speed test with a Snapdragon 865 phone just to see the differences if there's any. So yes, do click that subscribe button to get up to date with all my latest videos. So the Poco X3 Pro also does come with stereo speakers, so I'm just gonna play a clip here and let you guys listen. So yes, the stereo speakers are pretty decent, the bass is pretty strong, but it's not the loudest I would say, but then again, for this price point, the fact that you're getting stereo speakers, it's an absolute steal. So another thing pretty interesting is the fact that this phone does come with an IP53 rating. Normally at this price point, nobody even bothers to give you a rating. Over here, it is IP53, it is dust and splash resistant. So right now I'm going to show you the display on this. You can see this is the IPS LCD display, HD+. Colors are pretty alright, very sharp. The colors are really popish. You can of course change this in the settings in terms of your color scheme. So far what I'm getting over here on the Poco X3 Pro is pretty impressive. Of course you can pause the video just to admire the photo over here. It does look really good. So yes, right off the box, the Poco X3 Pro does come with Miui 12.1. This is of course on top of Android 11. There's a lot of features that I always do like. There's always the quick ball feature that I always do like, and of course in terms of display, you can go to your dark mode over here, and you can of course change your refresh rate all the way to 120 Hz. You do not get an always-on display with this because it does have an LCD panel, but overall Miui 12, I would say is one of the more feature-packed software you're going to find out there in terms of the Android market. It does take some time to actually get used to it, but for me, I actually do like Miui 12 quite a bit. And of course, it's not one of my favorite skins out there, but then I gotta say, in terms of features, they do have a lot. So yes, right out of the box, it does come with Miui 12. And of course, lastly here, we're going to talk about the cameras. And on the top here, you do have a selfie camera coming in at about 20 megapixel f2.2. It can record up to 1080p at 30 fps. And going on to the back, this is your quad camera setup. It is pretty decent, I would say. You do have a main lens at 48 megapixel f1.8. You do have your 8 megapixel ultra wide as well, and two 2 megapixel cameras, one for your macro and one for your depth camera. So yes, in terms of the usability, I think 2 of the cameras are already pretty good. And of course, if you do want your macro shots, but it's 2 megapixels, so it's pretty much useless. Overall, in terms of camera usage, this is what you're gonna get. And I can't complain. Again, at about 899 ringgit, less than 250 bucks, you're gonna get 5 cameras on your X3 Pro. So I'm just gonna put this phone down and talk about Poco phone, because I noticed that Poco phone is not only the Android market disruptor, but what I noticed it likes to do is to follow OnePlus very closely behind. With the Poco phone F1, it followed the OnePlus 6 very closely in terms of design, in terms of the software. Over here, you have your own Poco launcher. And of course, here in Malaysia, we had the OnePlus Nord N10, which also released about 899 bucks. But to be honest, come on, look at this. This is just a killer of any phone that will be coming out at this price point. And of course, we have the Poco F3, which of course would disrupt the OnePlus 9 phones as well. So yes, I do like where Poco phones are going, because you know what, they're changing up the market. A lot of those premium brands like Apple with the iPhone SE, with the S20 FE from Samsung, a lot of those flagship phones, they're trying to lower down their price to come into this market. And thanks to Poco phone and thanks to Xiaomi for doing all of that, I gotta give props where props is due, give credit where credit's due. I gotta say, Poco phone, I do like this brand quite a bit. So yes, this is it. This is the Poco X3 Pro. Everything you want to know about this phone. To be honest, this is an amazing phone to recommend. If only this phone came out like last year, I think this is going to be a very good deal. The X3 NFC was usually the phone I would recommend. I would also recommend the Redmi Note 10 Pro at this price point. But again, if you're into a lot of hardcore gaming, the X3 Pro is the phone for you. So yes, if you did enjoy this video and find this helpful, do click that like and smash that subscribe button down below for more videos like this in the future. Do also follow me on my socials as well on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and also here on YouTube at Dr. Hummus Tech. So that is it. This is Dr. Hummus Tech. Stay safe, take care, and wash those hands.